walk in darkness, but their steps are sure. Courage is in their faces, and in their bearing pride. For them, the tolling of church bells carries a message, not of mourning, but of triumph. For today, Paris honors the centenary of he who lightened their darkness, their guide and teacher, Louis Braille. From his native village, they have brought his remains to rest in the company of the nation's great. And in honoring Louis Braille, they honor France. In streets where men once mocked at blindness, heartfelt tribute is now paid. In the ceremony at the Pantheon, there is a quality which transcends visible splendor and pomp, a quality of thankfulness which comes from the heart. Few men have enriched the total of human happiness so much as he whose remains they bear. So France, and more, mankind itself, acknowledges its debt. Braille first saw the light in a village 23 miles eastward of Paris, and the countryside he loved has been but gently touched by the hand of time. The son of a saddler, his early childhood memories were of horse-drawn wagons in the marketplace of Couvray. It was while playing at mending harnesses that he suffered the accident which robbed him of his sight. Neighborliness was never a stranger in this village. But few gave over much thought to that saddler's son. Fewer still would have blamed him if life had passed him by. Certainly there were none who thought the day would come when, behind the shop front in that same market square, Monsieur le Maire would don his full regalia in honor of that stricken boy. When Braille himself last climbed to the church at the top of the hill, few had even heard of his work. But now, young and old know the story of Couvray's most famous son by heart. His alphabet for the blind is the only memorial that Braille himself would have sought, but a simple tribute from descendants of families he knew, this pilgrimage would have gone straight to his heart. Little daughter of France pays tribute to the man whose work was not for her country alone. In London, a royal tribute is paid to that work. Arriving to open the Braille Centenary Exhibition organized by the National Institute for the Blind, the Duke of Edinburgh sums up the impact of Braille and the benefits his work has brought to the blind.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we commemorate the death 100 years ago of one of mankind's great benefactors, Louis Braille, whose invention of embossed type has given a new sense to blind people all over the world. Like all great inventions, the idea of Braille is simple, but it needed the practical genius of Dr. Thomas Rhodes Armitage, the Caxton of embossed type, to exploit the idea for the benefit of all blind people. Dr. Armitage, as we've already heard, was also the founder of the National Institute, in whose headquarters we are now assembled.
The Caxton of the blind. Guided by the hand of a little blind girl, the Duke learns for himself the significance of the raised dots. For her, they pave the pathway to a world of ideas which might otherwise have stayed unexplored.
You go and get the honey. Very well, said Prue, and we stand tall. As soon as he got home, he went to the larder, and he stood on a chair and took down a very large jar of honey from the top shelf.
A pathway to ideas, where the older embossed types could never have been more than obstacles. But though ill-adapted for the touch of the blind, these early efforts were the best that could be devised by the sighted. Slowly, painstakingly, the earliest Braille was punched by hand. Steadily, machines speeded the work. Punching in the light is what some have called it. Each dot with a message for sensitive fingers. The plea of the blind has been for more and more such light, and the answer, more and more specialized machinery. Over 500,000 Braille publications are now printed in London each year, and each starts with the work of a blind transcriber, always the understanding touch of the blind to punch in the light and the link, a sighted woman. Among the sighted who transcribe are many who get their time free. This man is transcribing the Radio Times. Each letter is a combination of up to 6 dots, part of that magic domino created by Louis de Braille. Specialized printing presses, specialized men, and a steady flow of publications embossed in the 6 dots of Braille. Dots which are the pegs for 1,000 thoughts and ideas. Dots which not only keep the blind in touch with the world outside, but help to weld them into an active and useful community. Scientific works, the classics, magazines, pamphlets, music. The Students' Library of the National Institute for the Blind is stacked with 20,000 volumes, 20,000 keys to a common treasury of thought and to a heritage of full citizenship with sighted humanity.
Tiny raised dots and hands that see by touch. These are the tools from which, together, we build a world. They come to us in confidence. We reach to them from across the dark. Together we cross the hidden threshold that leads to life. To reach them from their remoteness, to draw them together into a team, to give each a feeling of kinship. That is our task at Northwood and at our other sunshine homes. And if they have the urge to play, not only with words, but with the pegs and frames we provide for their lessons, who shall blame them? Braille has opened for her the pathway. She will explore as far as she dares, and we will be at her side to encourage her on. It's a pathway which leads to one of 16 residential schools and to the promise of an even wider life. They will have progressed far before they leave our grammar school at Chorleywood. Yet each would be hurt if you paused to praise. They do not ask for a special world in which to live as beings apart, that each may take her place in a normal world. That is the supreme blessing of Braille. We watch over them closely as they work, the poise of their heads, the questioning in their hands. These are our guides to understanding, and on them we depend. And they, for their guides, theirs is an inheritance from many generations of the blind. So they make of their common affliction a gauge by which to measure uncommon achievement. And we who teach them, often pause to learn. Even the pattern of the world is not beyond them. Its hills, its coastlines, its rivers and towns, with their simple pins and cotton, they trace all these things. But who shall say what unspoilt worlds they build in their minds? Nor are their studies elementary, for though shape cannot be perceived by them, the eye is not the only gateway to the mind. Do you wonder that we're proud as we guide them in their work? That there is an emptiness in our lives when they move on, though the universities often gain what we lose. University life is not for them all, of course. Many go into commerce, and they prepare for the same examinations as the sighted. For the blind do not ask to be specially privileged.
Now I want you to write these two words, company, tomorrow. Now will you change your margins and write this list of words, then tell, upon, work.
And so to Judy. Music is for Judy the color of the unseen world in which she moves. It brings to life the very texture of light and shade. Its cadences reach up to her through her delicate sense of touch. It is a heritage which descends directly to her from Louis Braille.
Now, Judy, today we'll do the middle part of your piece, part that begins in F minor. We'll do the left hand first. Wasn't quite right, was it? Let's go over it once more and see if you can find.
I let that be staccato-y.
That's right. Good. Now, will you play both hands together? Now, Judy, will you play the last part of the Schumann Romance?
These are her golden hours, when the wind is in her hair, and she can breathe the freshness of a countryside she cannot see. She was born to hopes and aspirations. Loving hands have helped her to climb. God grant that in life she may find fulfillment.